One hail, welcome to Monday, welcome to Countdown Day. And you know what? Every time we get a new wave of Transformers, we always have that one or two that sticks out as just not as popular as the others, and they become the well-known shelf warmers. In fact, sometimes an entire line becomes a shelf warmer. And shelf warmers, in case you have been living under a rock and don't know, refers to those characters, those items that remain on the pegs, on the shelves, and do not sell because they're just not hot enough or popular enough or good enough or whatever. Sometimes you have some gems that get overlooked along the way. So it got me to thinking, what are the top 10 worst shelf warmers in all of Transformers? It was wide open voting. And that's going to be our focus in the latest GotBot Counts Down. Hey one hail, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit the notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton, let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. So if you exclusively shop online, then this list probably won't apply to you, because the fact of the matter is, the whole point of this is to have a list of the top 10 Transformers that basically do not sell well. They stay on the pegs, they stay on the shelves to keep them warm for new stock. We have honorable mentions that include the Devastation Optimus Prime, the Jada RC Optimus Prime, I can vouch for that one. Supreme Cheetor, going back to Beast Machines. I remember seeing that huge thing everywhere taking up space. And I don't know how well they sold, but it didn't seem like they were selling that well. The Transformers Prime Bumblebee, going back a long time. A couple of people mentioned an entire wall of the Transformers Prime Bumblebee at their Toys R Us. And the Kingdom Galvatron. I think that this list, based on the honorable mentions, is going to be very interesting, because I think in some cases you're going to have items that some people will say, we had tons of them and they just stuck on the shelves. And I think you're going to have some people that will say, wow, that's crazy because we never saw one of these, first nor last. That's the honorable mentions. They did not make the list. They came close, but they did not make the list. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do as we always do. We're going to kick things off with number 10 first. Kicking us off at number 10, we have this. Beast Wars Inferno. And it's so funny because I know the Legacy Inferno did not stick around very long, the update to this guy. But the original apparently did stick around, which is a shame because it's actually a really cool bot, a really cool figure. And honestly, I think it does a decent job of doing homage to the character. However, those that voted for this pointed out the fact that he was mostly translucent plastic, and there were concerns of that even back then, even though I don't see the reason for that to be a concern. Some people said he was just too bland. Some people said, I really don't like fire ants, and then it gave me trauma from encounters as a kid or something. And some people said he seemed overpriced for what he was at the time, even though in retrospect now he really, really wasn't. Anyway, you cut it. Beast Wars Inferno takes the number 10 slot. Coming in number 9, we have this. That's right, it's the Studio Series 86 RC. And those that voted for this, some people said, look, I saw some reviews where she seemed kind of flimsy. Some people said, I already had the Generations and this didn't seem like a big enough difference and improvement for me to bother to double dip. Some people said, I had just gotten the Earthrise. I did not need another RC pretty much on top of that. I have the 86 and I really like it. It replaced all my other RCs, but that's just me. Was she abundant when she came out? Fairly, but some people said there were seas of her. In fact, some people say there are still seas of her kicking around. She takes the number 9 slot. Coming in at number 8, we stick with Studio Series and this. Q. Yeah, it's the Q offering, and I can vouch for this. I've seen tons of him around. I think he's being overlooked because a lot of people are like, what a weird looking character. Doesn't look like Wheeljack, whom I don't use him as Wheeljack. I use him as like a mentor to Wheeljack. Here's the thing though. In hand, he's actually pretty fun. He's enjoyable, but I understand that he seems bland, like he doesn't have enough paint. I understand that he seems undersized, which I would agree with. But for what he is enjoyable. A lot of people that voted for this said, hey, I'm not drawn to the characters, or the character, I'm not drawn to the movies, and honestly, it looks really small and dinky for a deluxe, and I just don't think it's worth the asking price. Can't argue with it. I've talked about prices and size and quality of stuff a lot. Q, I think he's fun. I scored him well, but I understand the gripes, and he takes the number 8 slot. Number 7 still sticks with Studio Series. It takes us to Transformers 1 and this. The Transformers 1 Studio Series Bumblebee. I would argue any of the Transformers 1 Bumblebees. There have been a lot of them around. And I really thought that the Studio Series 1 was going to sell super well. But a lot of people said, look, it's good. It's great even. But it looks more yellow than gold. And in the movie, he looked more gold. So I would prefer if this was more gold. I feel like people would like to see a repaint of this in colors that better match the film. I don't know if that's true or not. Some people also said, look, honestly, it's just another Bumblebee. There's so much Bumblebee fatigue. I mean, you got the 116, that's the movie one, the 86, and now the Transformers 1. There's just too much Bumblebee. I can't argue with that. Studio Series Transformers 1 Bumblebee takes the number 7 slot. And funny enough, at number 6 we have this. Still Studio Series, still Bumblebee. This one is the 86. For all of the reasons that I just mentioned with the fatigue and just so many Bumblebees out there, personally I skipped this one because I didn't think it looked like Bumblebee. And I still don't. We have it now as Bumper, and I think it works infinitely better as Bumper because as soon as I saw it, I said, that's Bumper. Yeah, he needs black forearms. Yeah, he needs a different head, but it's Bumper more than it is Bumblebee. I still stand by that. Some people say it is a quintessential Bumblebee. And that's cool if that's how you feel. In fact, I reviewed it and I said it was really good. It didn't replace my KBB's Hornets Agent, which I think is the quintessential one. But I understand the popularity. That said, too, the other argument that people made here is that this was an A-level release, which means the intention was for there to be an awful lot of this Bumblebee because they predicted it was going to sell super, super well. Probably overproduced for a character that's suffering from fatigue. 86 Bumblebee takes the number 6 slot. And now a hush falls over the crowd because we reached the ever-coveted, ever-popular halfway mark. And man, I can vouch for this one because at the halfway mark we have this. The Legacy Transformers Prime RC. I don't think the mold is great. My Road Rocket was abysmal with pretty much every QC issue that you could imagine. My Laser Cycle version, the Jazz one, if you will, from the Toxitron line, was much better, I think, the way it was supposed to be. And my Ariel was much better, the way it was supposed to be. But it's undersized. It's a little bit janky. But here's the thing, and here's why I think the RC shelf-warmed as much as she did. I don't think it was that the mold was particularly bad, and I think the bike was actually excellent. But the head sculpt was 100% off. If you did not tell me that it was Transformers Prime RC, I never in a million years would have guessed it because it looks nothing like her. I think if you had gotten maybe the brow, the shape of the eye better, you could put a nose on. But I think if you had gotten the top of the head correct, I think that she may have sold better. I think that this is a case, and this is speculation honestly, but I think that this is a case of a good idea that had a mold that was poorly executed. And I think the head sculpt being off so much really hurt her sales. And that's probably, possibly, partially why she shelf-warmed. Either way you cut it, fans feel like she didn't hit the mark enough that she was able to take the number 5 slot. Coming in at number 4 is one that has become really popular over the last few countdowns, and it's this. It's Injector. I mean, there's nothing more I could say about it. Some people said that the translucent was a little bit fragile. Some people said this was just too weird. How do you put like a bee or a hornet or whatever it is, or a wasp or whatever it is, with a fish? Some people said that they didn't enjoy it, but here's the funny part. Some people said it was actually really fun, but it was just too weird of a design. I can't speak to it. Don't know the character, don't know the figure, but according to fans, Injector from Beast Wars takes the number 4 slot. Coming in at number 3 is one that is widely known, widely regarded as being one of the most notorious shelf warmers ever. And it's this guy, Beast Wars Transketo, who honestly, I feel like if we are ever going to get an update for Transketo, I feel like the Age of the Prime's Venom mold is ripe for being reused for Transketo. I could see it. Some remolding, a little bit of change, but I can absolutely see a Transketo in there. I don't know why this was such a shelf warmer. Nobody really gave me a reason other than Transketo. And even when I looked up a little bit about Transketo, I was like, you know what? Even the wiki points out that it is a notorious shelf warmer. Being the colors it is, I do wonder if Transketo suffered from GPS. And maybe somebody in the comments already knows. Maybe there's 10,000 down in the comments that's already said, hey, he had GPS. I have no idea. But Transketo, for whatever reason, takes the number 3 slot. Number 2 goes back to Studio Series, and this Coronation Starscream. So it was the, let's call it what it is, the abysmal Earthrise mold. And I get that it's a nice plane, but as a robot, it had too many issues. The body was hollow, the biceps were hollow, and I don't know about you, but whenever I turned the bicep of my Starscream, like the bicep would flex. There was no wrist. I get that the Coronation one gave him opening and closing fingers. I also get that the Coronation Starscream added the Coronation parts. But here's the thing. It added that little bit, and then took the price from Voyager and bumped it all the way up to Leader. And a lot of people said, I don't get it. It was sold as a Voyager and you gave me a few add-ons and now you're charging me a Leader price? No, sorry, not gonna fly. And a lot of people let it rot on the shelves until it went on a deep, deep discount. It was customers saying, consumers saying, fans saying that no, this isn't a Leader class value. It's not enough bang for the buck, and we're gonna wait until it goes on sale for the value it actually is. I would reckon that at this point, I would hope that the new impending Starscream from the new mold that's going to be coming out, that is obviously infinitely better. Hopefully these Coronation parts can also go attached somehow to that. That backwards compatibility I think would be really, really cool. But yeah, I remember seeing this. I remember thinking to myself, it's never going to sell. And I just watched the boxes collect dust for the longest time. Coronation Starscream had to go to deep discount to move. And he takes the number 2 slot. And now very tippy top number 1. And number 1 I totally agree with. And it's not even that it's bad. But I can't argue it because number 1, and this is going to hurt Input a little bit, shout out to Input, is this. Earthrise RC. She won, I'm not going to say by a mile, it was close, but she definitely won. And I mean, what can I say? It's not even that it's bad, but a lot of people said her backpack was just too large. Yes, she could take it off and make that skid thing that she's standing on, but like, that didn't look good. They said that her car mode looked more like a soap dish than a car. They said that in robot mode, while she had good articulation and whatnot, her colors were off. She didn't look like RC. How come her face was white and not pink? How come her feet were pink and not white with like a little gray band over it? I get what a lot of people will argue and say, hey, it looked like RC as she appeared in War for Cybertron. But let's be realistic. A lot of people are going to look at it and say, it should look like G1 RC, and it doesn't. Plus, people already had the generations that they liked better, and people knew that there was an 86 coming up, and some people preferred the Transformers Prime version. Maybe it was just an RC glut. She's not bad, but she had enough gripes that people said, I'll pass her over and wait for something a little bit better. And that's why she shelf-warmed. And that's why she took the number 1 slot. And that's 10 down to 1 once again. Other ones that had votes for being best shelf warmer, and there were a lot of interesting ones in here. 07 Payload, Retrax, from Beast Wars, Dropkick, 86 Sludge, Core Class Iguanus, Studio Series Bumblebee Ironhide. I remember that one being around quite a bit. The Earthspark Megatron and the Earthspark Bumblebee. I would say the Earthspark Optimus as well. Titans Return Sky Shadow. I don't remember that shell forming, but I've seen pictures of full shelves of that, which is too bad because that's fantastic mold. 07 Bumblebee G2 Sea Spray. Transformers 1 Optimus Prime, the Studio Series 1, I would agree with that. What else do we have here? Titans Return Astro Train, Velocitron Cosmos. Now, the votes for this came from people in the UK, where apparently Smith's Toys had wallfuls of the Velocitron Cosmos. Combiner Wars Motormaster, Solus Prime recently, Beast Wars Iguanas, Rise of the Beast, Command and Convert Optimus Primal, yes! Like a poor man's Robeson. Legacy Bulkhead, Dark of the Moon, Mudflap, I think that might have been Revenge of the Fallen though. Age of the Prime Sideways, which is a shame because that thing is amazing. I'm not even a Unicron Trilogy guy, and that thing's fantastic. What else do we have here? 86 Retro Gears. That's what people said, but it's just Retro Gears, not 86. Pardon me. What else do we have here? Oh, Legacy Shadow Striker. Yes, that was another one. Beast Machines, a Buzzsaw. 86 Junk Heap. Earthrise Grapple. Transformers 1, Sentinel Prime, the mainline one. Legacy Blitzwing, them, and so many more. Let me know if your favorite shelf warmers, worst shelf warmers, the ones you detest the most. Let me know if they made the list, or made the shoutouts, or made the honorable mentions. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, man, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.